water in an RV. When you want it, it's good. When you don't want it, it's not good. And we've had some predicaments lately. Let's go down that road. Hello, faithful people. I'm Maureen.
I'm Gary, and we are enjoying life traveling in our home.
Yes, there we are. We stayed at a county park last night. I'm going to show you around a little bit, and we're going to tell you a little bit about our water woes. This is a neat little area. They must do some outdoor movies or something in the evenings, and there's a view of the water from here. Last night I saw the most beautiful sunset, so I just want to see what it looks like now during the day, because I'm pretty sure it'd be more high tide right now. Last night there was quite a bit of beach showing. Yeah, there's a lot more water in here today than there was last night. But beautiful sunset. I'll show it to you. This was the spot where we were last night, and it was not by choice that we stayed in a campground again. We've been staying at quite a few lately. In fact, we've stayed at more campgrounds in the last week than we have in the last year. One of the worst feelings you have every time you hit bumpy roads is everything latched? Is everything down? Is everything where it's supposed to be? Did the refrigerator get latched tight? You always do that. We have a water jug that we typically put underneath the table whenever we move. Today, we did not, and it was right beside where Gary is right now. And there was water everywhere. It went all over this counter here, went down into there, and down under the seat, down on the floor down there. Oh my gosh, so everything is kind of wet. And it was only about half a gallon, right?
Yeah, half a gallon or so.
We had to take everything and wipe everything down. We're putting things back again. The good thing is it did not anywhere near either one of the computers. Thank goodness for that. And everything was so dusty from yesterday anyway that we just now got a good wipe down, and we're pretty clean now, right? So you want to tell us what's happening down here?
I'm going out of my mind.
Okay.
Actually, we broke. The end of this broke from the valve, and all the water drained out of our freshwater tank.
That was full when we left.
Pretty full, yep.
Yep.
And now it's all on the road and in various places. So we have to replace this, hopefully, with this.
Hopefully.
Well, so far so good. Now all I have to do is get this piece to connect to those pieces
And this pipe wouldn't have worked? The stuff
No.
that we had before?
No.
Okay.
It's,
So he had to go back in here to work on things. There is no back door. There's no real easy access to it.
No.
Fortunately, we had the part because there'd been a small leak, which just goes onto the road or onto the dirt or whatever. It goes down below it. It wasn't going down in here.
well,
But he has to get work in that space from this little window.
right.
Yeah. Okay. So he had the part because he was going to fix it anyway, but then something busted it, and we don't know how that happened yesterday. But somebody came up behind us and was yelling at us. We thought it was just somebody who was really upset because we were going too slow. We weren't going the speed limit. And we didn't know what was going on. We walked around, we couldn't figure it out.
So, so finally we did.
Yeah, when we got to a boondocking spot and had no water. It's like, what? Where'd our water go? So we are at a campground right now, a county park. It's a lovely park. How's it going?
Oh, it's working so far, but I haven't put any water in it yet.
It's working, but you haven't put any water in it yet.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
We got a couple more hose clamps to tighten down before I can do anything.
Okay. And did you go with the shark clamp like you said you're gonna?
No,
Oh.
no, there's not enough room in there. It's a pretty small area. It's not a lot of water pressure, so this should hold it.
Okay.
All this room to work with here.
Yeah. We're going to be getting Gary a headlamp.
There wouldn't be room for that either. I'm just glad I can get my head out of here.
And I can't explain what you're doing because...
I'm just trying to get the hose into position so I can clamp it down. And I could use another hand, but there's no way to get it in there.
You'd think they would make these things a little easier for that kind of stuff.
Well,
how would they do it if they were a mechanic?
Same way. Grunt and groan, say a lot of bad words.
Except you're not saying the bad words.
I'm trying not even to think them. It doesn't help any bit at all. Just makes things hurt worse. So I think I've got it where I need it.
And what were you using the hairdryer for?
To soften up the hose so I could get the piece inserted into the hose. It's a tight fit.
Okay. I'll check back later.
Yeah.
Is it holding?
So far so good.
Gary just added some water to the tank.
Yeah, not much, but I'll add a little more now.
Can you hear the water going in? It was bone dry. I mean, usually you can see a line in there, a shadow of how deep the water is or how much water's left. I've never seen it so empty except when Gary purposely emptied it to flush it out. There, now you can see the water level coming up. It's right there. So far, so good.
Still looking okay.
That's good.
It's very good.
I've just been having a hard time finding places. Here he's gonna hook up. I've been having a hard time finding places for free, and that's been really frustrating. We'll talk more about that in a little while. Click and lock. There we go. This is the long one.
And high.
This is on Highway 126 in Oregon, going towards Eugene. Whew. And I didn't start recording at the very beginning because my phone didn't cooperate. Wow.
There was so much water running, I couldn't tell. And I found some more, obviously.
This is not an easy operation here.
Easier if I just cut it wide open.
The membrane is kind of like a mesh under there. I don't know if I can get the camera under there or not. Okay, I guess I can. So what did you discover was there?
Where's that?
Underneath. You said there was something that you didn't realize was under the...
Oh, it's plastic. Plastic liner.
Oh.
The water got between that and the duct.
Really got around, didn't it? So I was wrong about something. I did not know that a lot of the water from the freshwater tank did stay in part of the RV.
It filtered down through the hole, but there was too much to go out, and it backed up inside and went down into below the floor. So we've got a bit of water kind of floating there on the membrane. What do you call that?
Membrane.
Okay, so the membrane underneath the trailer. So I don't know exactly how to go about it, but I did cut some holes, or sliced some holes in it to pull out the wet stuff. And
Insulation.
Yeah, to let it dry out. Well, not just with the water and the insulation that was wet and everything. So anything that's in there that's soggy is coming out. I just have to make a few more holes. So if I'm doing it wrong, I'll get to redo it this summer. If I'm doing it right, I'll still have to redo it this summer. So
Well, okay, the part you'll have to redo is...
Well, hopefully it'll just be putting more insulation in, but
Okay.
Not knowing how much damage will be done to the wood, there might be some replacing to do there too. We'll see how it goes.
We
But,
caught it pretty quick.
yeah,
I mean, it happened, it was gone, and we kind of took action pretty much right away.
as soon as we could.
Yeah.
But it was already later in the day, so probably 5-6 hours at least after it emptied out. So yeah, it wasn't exactly the way we wanted to spend that evening, but
Yeah, okay. So you're going to have to put new insulation in when it's all dried out.
yep,
And what else?
patch up the holes I made.
And you said you were going to use Gorilla Tape on the membrane.
I'm gonna try that. It's worked before.
Okay.
These are bigger slits, so we'll see.
Okay.
But there's always something that can be done. If I can break it, somebody can fix it.
Great.
So.
And I don't know if you noticed the sign I put on the water jug there. It says, "Put me down," so that the next time we get ready to pull out and that is on the counter. That's a good reminder. Oh yeah, I have to put that on the floor so we don't have that little thing happen again. Oh, gods. Okay, yeah. Water. Like I said, water is good when you want it and not
Where you want it.
Yeah, where you want it, not otherwise.
No.
Okay.
So,
We'll keep you updated on that, huh?
yes, we will.
We will. Okay. Thank you. Supper tonight. 1/2 pound of ground beef with 1/2 an onion. And I use the sweet Vidalia almost always. And then I am steaming cauliflower florets. And I am thawing out some Italian gluten-free bread. I just recently discovered this. I don't know if it's available everywhere, but this is rosemary and thyme focaccia? How do you say this? All right, what do you think? It's rosemary and thyme focaccia. I don't know if we're pronouncing it right or not. But anyway, it's dairy-free, soy-free, nut-free, but most important to me, gluten-free. Tastes really, really good. It tastes like real bread, and it's got all those herbs and everything in it. So then we'll have those with the cauliflower, and I'm going to be putting 1/2 jar of spaghetti sauce in here when the meat is done. And then the spaghetti sauce with the meat over the cauliflower. No pasta. And there we go with it all dished up. I think I failed to mention that the ground beef is grass-fed beef. Cows that are out in the pasture, happy as clams, grazing all day. Organic beef from happy cows. Okay, so wise guy Gary said, except they're dead. Well, they were happy cows. And they died happy. How's that? It makes me happy because it tastes really good. So for the first time ever in 2 years since we started our channel, Gary is going to do the ending. Okay, what should they do?
Thumbs up. No. If you learned anything useful from this video and would like to subscribe, please do so. Give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below.
How much does it cost?
Absolutely no cost to you whatsoever.
And after they hit the subscribe button, what do they do next?
There should be a bell to ring.
Yes!
And if they ring the bell, then they'll be notified when we do some other wonderful broadcast.
And what else should they check out?
Facebook. There's some Roads of Faith Facebook pages to see as well.
Posts.
Posts.
It's Roads of Faith Facebook page.
It's easy for you. The Roads of Faith Facebook page.
There you
Check
go.
it out.
Yeah, we have other posts on there. And until next time,
God
God bless.